What's up? This is EasyOSX, and in this video, I'm going to show you everything you need to know about using the Apple TV remote. So let's say you've gotten a new Apple TV remote for the holidays or some other event. You've got this remote. It's a little divisive, but it's actually got a lot of functionality, and so I'm going to show you everything you need to know about how to use it. Starting off, at the very top here, we have this matte black section, which is the touchpad. It operates much like a laptop's touchpad. And just like one, I can move my thumb across to the right or to the left, as well as down and up, and can even click on an item to open an app, much like you would on a laptop trackpad. Now, if you've used Launchpad on macOS or have an iOS device, you also might recognize this next feature. You can go over an app and press and hold down on the trackpad, which will put it into jiggle mode, which you can then use to move the app around on the screen to put it wherever you want it, but you can also put it in a folder. To do so, drag the app over to another app. This will create the folder. You can then rearrange the apps within the folder, or drag it out of the folder, then click again on the touchpad to drop the app. If you do put an app into jiggle mode, one other thing you can do is hit the play and pause button to bring up more options. This will give you options to do things like delete the app, put it into a folder, or make a new folder out of it. If you decide you don't want to do anything, you can hit the cancel button or the menu button to get out of the menu. If you need to adjust the trackpad to be more or less responsive to your touches, you can do so by going to the Settings app, select Remote and Devices, and go to Touch Surface Tracking at the very top. Here you'll have three options: medium, the default, fast, and slow. Medium is what I like to leave it on, but ultimately this is a personal choice and you should find what works best for you. Going back to the remote itself, you'll notice there's a small hole at the top of the trackpad as well as on the back of the remote. These are actually microphones that are used when you hold down the microphone button in speech-to-text or to activate Siri. You'll also notice at the very top there's this little black dot. That's actually an IR blaster that you can use to control the volume on your television if you set that up, which can be done with the volume up and down button on the remote. We'll cover more of that later though. Let's talk about the menu button next. The menu button acts as a back button or as a return home screen. So let's say, for example, you're inside of an app and you realize you want to go back one level. To do that, just tap the menu button once, and it'll take you back to the previous screen. If you're in something and you hold the menu button, it'll take you back to the home screen. Tapping the menu button from the home screen one more time will take you to the top left app. And then tapping the menu button one more time will take you to the Apple TV screensaver, or whatever equivalent that you have set. Next, we'll talk about the TV button, or as it's officially called, the home button. Tapping this button by default will open the Apple TV app, and this is true of any app that you're in. If you tap the home button again, it'll take you back to the home screen. You can change this though by going into the Settings app, Remotes and Devices, and then clicking on Home button. Just tapping will change your default setting. As you can see here, now tapping it takes me back to my Apple TV home screen. You can bring up the side menu by holding down on the TV button. From here, you'll be able to change profiles if you've got multiple users on the Apple TV, put the device to sleep. You can see what's playing on this or other devices. You can also access your HomeKit if you've got this as a HomeKit hub, AirPlay from your Apple TV to other devices, and access the Spotlight search feature. Double tapping on the TV button will bring this iOS-style app switcher, which you can scroll right and left to get to an app that you previously had opened on your TV. Next is the microphone button, also called the Siri button. Much like Siri on your other devices, you can press and hold the button to issue voice commands to Siri. For example, you can launch Netflix, and Netflix will open up and you can begin using it. You can of course do this with other apps or even use other functions within the apps, for example asking Siri to rewind your TV or to ask it for subtitles. Jumping over to Spotlight for a moment, I can show you that any place that you need to type in text, for example searching for a movie or TV show, you can instead hold down the microphone button and speak to use speech to text. For example, if I want to look for the Avengers, you can see Siri transcribe my speech and then I can use that to search for the Avengers. Next, I'm going to show you the play button. First, I'm going to navigate over to Tubi TV to demonstrate this. The play pause button is really pretty self-explanatory, but just to show you real quick, if I find a show, let's say Superman, and I decide to play it, and now that it's playing, give it a second, you see I can now hit the pause button and pause it, play it again from the play button. Then I can also use the trackpad to scroll through the timeline and hit the trackpad to actually play and pause as well. So at least while playing content, the trackpad can serve the same function as the play pause button. Next, we'll jump over to the volume buttons. You can hit the plus button to increase the volume on your TV, and down to decrease the volume on your TV. If you want to set this up to work with your TV, you'll need to go into the Settings app, go to Remotes and Devices, and then scroll down to Control TVs and Receivers. You'll need to have the setting turned on and a TV and HDMI cable that can support HDMI CEC. Assuming you do, then go to Volume Control, and it should be set to Automatic. And for most people, you'll probably have gone through a setup process when you set up your Apple TV. If you haven't, or you've got a new remote, hit the Learn New Device button. Go through this training program, which will help you figure out what frequency your remote needs to be operating on in order for it to work with your TV. Once you follow this setup, you'll have a remote that you can use with your TV to control it, as well as to turn it off and on. Then you can give the remote a name, so that way if you have multiple remotes, you can say one is the original, one is a Logitech, etc. Once you've done that, you'll see the name of the remote appear in the volume control. If you ever wish to change the name or to delete the remote entirely, go to Edit Devices, select the remote, and then select the option that you want. And that's pretty much everything you need to know about how to use your Apple remote. Thank you guys so much for watching. If the video helped you out, please give it a like. And if you want more Apple, Mac, and iOS tips, tricks, and advice, then subscribe to the channel. You can also check us out at easyosx.net as well as on social media. Thank you again for watching, and we'll catch you next time.